All right, so let's talk about the directions for your collaborative research project. The goal of this project is for us to work together, just like your classroom question said, to get multiple perspectives, to meet people in our online class, to work as a team, split the work up, learn just more about the topic by reading together, analyzing together. You will conduct research with your team that you've already been assigned to. You're going to read and annotate together 2 articles and build a case for a presentation. So the end goal is to create a video presentation answering the essential question for your module. The essential question that we've been working with is, how does systemic inequity affect our lives? Last week, you guys came up with a list of subtopics that could address different pieces of that question, and you are going to, with your team, decide which subtopic you're going to focus on, research and find credible sources, and then eventually create a video for. So this is why and how you guys are going to work as a team. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is a little bit laggy, so this isn't working perfect, but that's okay. You're in a small group. You guys are going to work for a little while together, and you'll be creating a video. That's like our bottom line and our goal of why we're doing this. So let's go into more of the subtopics. Here are requirements. So 2 links on your slide. For those 2 links, they're 2 articles. Together, you're going to write 3 annotations. You're going to write those 3 annotations on Diigo, and everyone in your team has to have the same annotations on Diigo, which means you need to talk to each other, write them together, read the articles together, decide which articles you're going to present on, etc. As a way to grade you individually, you'll all turn in a screenshot on Classroom of your annotations on Diigo separately. And so if one of your group members isn't showing up but wants to take credit for your annotations, they won't be able to do that. So you're going to talk to each other to create those annotations separately on your own Diigo and turn that in. On your slide, you'll have 2 links, and you'll have a summary for each of those articles. And there's a template for each of you that has your team names assigned to that slide that you guys are going to modify. So let's break down those directions a little bit more. First, you guys are going to compile research, which means put together research. You can use EBSCO database, or you can use a Google search. If you use EBSCO, you know that the articles are credible, so it makes that piece a little bit easier. If you use an internet search, you have to use this next slide to make sure and check that they're credible pieces. When you find the 2 articles that you want to address under your subtopic, you are going to copy and paste the links into your team slide. And I'll show you your team slide in a second. After you find those articles, you're going to read them out loud. You're going to annotate them. You're going to have 3 annotations using Diigo. Everyone has to have the same annotations, so you have to talk to each other. It'd be great if you could turn on your video. Obviously, you'll have to turn on your mic. After you find the articles, annotate them together, you're going to then summarize them, and your summary will also be on your slide. So what's on your slide is 2 links, 2 summaries. So to make sure that your articles that you find are credible, you are looking for an article that's on topic. Does it stay on your subject the whole time? And is your article addressing the essential question, which again is, how does systemic inequity affect our lives? We're going to look at the subtopics that you came up with, that with your breakout groups, you're going to decide what direction you're going to take to address that question in your project. A credible source is recent. This is a current event, so it can't be 60 years from now. That would be the future, or 60 years in the past. It has to be an article that has the writer explicitly listed, because that person's taking credit for their writing and sort of owning up to either the bias that they have or the research that they've done. If it's a blog and no one's cited, then it's not credible. We can't trust that that's someone who wants to be known for that writing. It has to be in a source or like a newspaper, an article, in a magazine, a video. It has to be a source that's generally known to be non-biased. So, for example, Fox News or an MSNBC are known to be generally taking one very clear side on political stances and current events. And so we want to find sources that are more in the middle because they can't be opinion based. That's the what. We're looking for factual, informational articles that you can then form your opinion on. So you're looking for facts, you're not looking for opinions. So if you're like choosing Black Lives Matter movement, for example, then you're not going like to a blog that says, this is my opinion on why Black Lives Matter is good or bad or whatever. It's going to just be the facts of the organization, what the movement has done or caused. And so it's opinion-based, not opinion-based, factual, informational. So the purpose is to present your opinion. And so why we're researching or the purpose of the article should match up your purpose there. So those credible sources are going to be matching one of the key phrases that you guys came up with as a whole class. You brainstormed together. You found these as subtopics for your presentation to address the essential question. For example, in just a moment, your team is going to decide kind of one of these things. Do you want to research police brutality 2020? Do you want to research and present on racial inequality currently? Do you want to research Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ rights in 2020, religious discrimination in 2020, racial stereotyping, discrimination in the workplace? Do you want to do religious discrimination? I said that. Stereotyping, I'm reading right here in case you got lost on slide 7. Social injustice, racial false accusations, sexuality discrimination. So you can do something else. These are examples of what you guys came up with, of what you can do on like a smaller scope for our topic. So now let's talk about what you should be doing on your slide. So following these direction slides, you guys have your own name attached to a template. On that slide that you guys are assigned for your team, you can change the background on your slide, the text, the format, add a team name, no way. So we're going to come back to this. And what I'd like you guys to do is answer that essential question or that classroom question for homework. If you got what the homework is, you can go. If you would like, you can stay for a second and ask me questions on what your homework is.
Wait, do we find like the answer to the homework on